We go. All right. So we are finally live.
We made
So weird. It's like
it.
you could press every button and then all of a sudden one button that you pressed again that you just pressed 10 times, it works. So
It
whatever.
worked.
Whoever is
It
watching
worked.
from YouTube, y'all need to get y'all technology together. But
Uh-huh.
but we're here for another episode of Bright Girls in Business, and I am super duper duper excited to introduce you to my guest today. Um, I'm gonna read her bio, and it's awesome. So, um,
Thank you.
yes. So, Rena Williams is a brand image consultant with over 15 years of experience in strategic branding and marketing. Through her company, Rena T. Williams Consulting, Rena helps lifestyle brand owners reposition and innovate their offering so that they can increase their profits. Okay. Oh, yeah, we really need to talk. We need to talk on the aside because, okay, we'll get into that. See how I get off track sometimes?
That's
So,
quite all right.
I just got excited because I'm like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. So anyway, after co-founding her own lifestyle brand, Soaring Tea, Rena knew that other entrepreneurs needed help with positioning their brand to secure strategic partnerships and attract their ideal clients. So she focuses on infusing personality into brands, enabling them to be more authentic and relatable. Her coaching and consulting techniques are driven by data, strategy, and innovation, positioning her clients to be the premier and obvious choice for their customers. She has a BS in marketing from the Hampton University,
Woo! HU.
HU, and an executive MBA. Come on, executive.
Come
All
on
right.
now.
Executive MBA from Kennesaw State University. Aside from working with clients and running her business, she enjoys traveling, working out, and spending time with her two daughters, and they are so adorable.
Thank
And
you. Thank
yes,
you.
and her husband of 10 years. So, welcome,
Yes.
welcome, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So we're just gonna hop right
Excited to be
on in
here.
because
Okay.
I'm not going to turn this into a consultation because I swear I want to ask all I want to ask you all about this lifestyle brand and stuff because I'm like really excited
Yes.
and that's really where I'm like trying to lean my business into. Um,
Okay.
but something that stuck out to me was how you started your own lifestyle brand and
Mm-hmm.
now you want to help other people do the same and leverage themselves and their personality. So what kind of attracted you to that?
So when launching Serenity back in God 2011, when the idea first came to my sister and I, we didn't realize like, oh, this is going to be a lifestyle brand. We knew that we wanted to launch a high-end tea company that catered to our demographic. And the idea for that came from my sister moved to London for her job and fell in love with going to afternoon tea. And I went to visit her and I just love the art of going to afternoon tea. You get cute, you're with your girlfriends, and we would literally sit there for like 3 or 4 hours, drinking tea, eating food in a gorgeous setting. And it was so relaxing, and just, the conversation that came from that. But it was also, you felt like, getting dressed up and just hanging out at a posh hotel or something. It was really nice. So we really wanted to um, just develop the high end tea brand that was reflective of our personalities. And we started calling it a lifestyle brand because we really wanted to cater to the lifestyle of afternoon tea. You see what I'm saying? And so from there, I mean, we really didn't know what it would turn into. We didn't have any business advisors or mentorship or anything. And it's crazy because talking to entrepreneurs now, the amount of resources that's available for people now, I'm just like, if we had this
Man, listen,
10 years ago, like it's a different playing field,
it
you
is.
know? It's completely different. So we didn't have any of that. And we're figuring things out on our own. And um oh, sorry about that. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay. We're figuring things out on our own and just made it happen. And so when doing this, of course, I learned things in my own business of like what to do, what not to do. And also from there, I took on additional corporate roles, went and got my executive MBA. And it was during my MBA where I really honed in on strategy. And
Mm,
I just fell in love with it, following and studying the strategies of other companies and lifestyle brands, how they really build that community. And, from a strategy standpoint, but then emotional branding, emotional marketing, how you're tapping into the emotions of your client. So basically, when it comes to customer segmentation, you're not so focused on, yeah, you got to focus on the demographics, but what are your customers going through? What
mm,
is their emotional state? And you're marketing to that. So, me as a woman in my late 30s, my emotional state could be the same as someone who's 65 years old, based on what we're going through. So, marketers really tuning into that and going beyond just the demographics too.
I love that. I love it because it it causes me to nerd out because that's what I do with my clients is,
Uh-huh.
when I'm trying to help them understand who their dream or ideal client is, um,
Mm-hmm.
just really, like you said, going beyond the demographics, because so many people, that's where they stop. They're like, oh, I want to,
Yeah.
talk to a woman who's 24 to 40. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what else about her? Like,
Exactly.
is she a
You're
mom?
studying the psychographics, and
Yes, yes.
especially, listen, especially during this pandemic, it
Mhm.
really, there's been a major shift. And I tell people, how you hear, oh, I can't wait for things just to go back to normal, things be, it's not going back to normal.
No.
Business is forever changed. And if you think you can go back to doing things the way you did in 2019, God, that seems like 2019.
It
That
seems
seems
so far
so
away,
long ago,
right?
doesn't it? It's crazy. If you think you can go back to doing the way you did things back then, you're thinking about it the wrong way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you started this tea brand, and I'm really excited. Look, I'm just like fanning out over here because I love tea. I love tea. Like, I'm a tea girl, not a coffee drinker at all.
Uh-huh.
Mm. And so the idea of like drinking tea in London and just like,
Uh-huh.
when you were talking about it, I'm like, this is like everything. So you start this tea brand, you go to grad school, you get into this whole marketing thing. Were you doing that for your career first? Like doing some of the same things in your career 9 to 5 that
hmm
you do now in your business?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've always been in marketing. I was a marketing major at Hampton. I've been in marketing roles ever since I graduated, like marketing, sales, account management, all of that stuff, like some business analyst type of role. But my heart has always been in marketing and branding, how companies position themselves. And what I like to do, since I work for, major corporations, and I've managed the accounts of major corporations, seeing how these companies operate, I'm like, these corporate strategies, they could be simplified and applied to small business owners. And that's what I like to do, show like, okay, these are what these corporations are doing. You can do this for your business too. But it would be a lot easier because you have a small company. These corporations, they have thousands and putting thousands of people, and they have $1 million budgets, $1 billion budgets. And I like to explain to people why marketing and branding is needed. And what's funny is that I feel like people didn't really take marketing seriously before.
No.
When it came to entrepreneurs and small business owners, it's like, I need everything else, but I'm not investing in marketing.
And that's
I
so
can figure
true.
this out myself. And then it's like, but do you really know what marketing is? Do you know what branding is? Do you understand it? Oh, well, no. And it's like, but this is something is crucial for your business. I read an article by Harvard Business Review, was it last week or the week before last? And one of the points was how, like, even well within corporate America, how the marketing department is getting to shine now. Those conversations about marketing are happening in the C suite, and more money is being invested into marketing and branding because you see how much is needed within these organizations. And consumers have so much power now because we have so many options,
Mm-hmm.
and we want things now. We want it done right. I tell you, Amazon has messed all of us up
Oh, everybody.
because
Everybody. They just shifted the
listen,
game for real.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazon has spoiled everybody because now, especially, small business owners, when it comes to, you order something today and you want it by tomorrow, a lot
Yeah.
of businesses can't operate like that.
Oh,
But Amazon has set the standard. So it's like, okay, how else can I attract that consumer? How else can I target them? And when it comes to marketing, we are no longer like competing against other companies within our industry. I consider myself a marketing consultant, lifestyle brand strategist, whatever you want to call it. But my competition isn't necessarily other brand strategists. I'm competing with the last best experience that my consumers, that my target market had. So it's like you got to create a whole experience around the process of someone working with you and attracting those clients.
let's go there. Let's go there for real. Because I feel like so many people miss the mark here.
Hmm.
Before the pandemic, I was teaching workshops on customer experience management and what that looked
Okay.
like and how to really, like you said, infuse that experience into everything that you do from the time somebody, first sees whatever piece of content might draw them to you to them actually checking out and then, getting them to come back.
Yeah.
And I see so many of us, and when I say us, of course, I mean Black women entrepreneurs. We start these businesses, we're passionate about them. We have a product or a service that we can serve, but we don't think through those little intricacies of how we can really capture people. And
Yes.
so a lot of times marketing is the first thing that people end up cutting when they run out of money or
Yep.
whatever. And it's like, no, 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 you need to lean
Right.
in there. So how do you, or what would you tell an entrepreneur who, is getting ready to start a business or fairly new, or maybe
Yeah.
even, they might even be seasoned, but they're realizing, hey, things aren't really clicking the way that I want to. As far as experience is concerned, where would
Hmm.
you tell them to look first, or how to improve?
Okay. So, what I like to do is tell people to start with their brand heart. That's their purpose, mission, and values. Start there and, define that for your company. What is that for your business? Because that's like, that's something you shouldn't compromise on. What's going to keep you grounded. Okay? So when you start there and then you start building out your brand and you're doing what makes sense for your brand, but everything you do for your company, every decision that you make should align with your brand heart. From when it comes to the collaborations that you take on, okay, does this company align with my company values?
Mm,
Does it make sense for my company? But also, and I try to tell people, take a step back and look at your business from the eyes of your customer from the moment they interact with you. Okay. What is the experience like for them? Because I tell people, like, you can say you have a high end brand, but if you don't have a high end experience, then if you taking 5 days to get back to people when your website says 48 hours, if the checkout process is frustrating, if they don't hear back from you, if
yeah,
things aren't professional. And
yeah,
that's what I try to get people to understand. Like, you have a high-end brand, but it needs to be professional. And professional does not mean corporate.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
You can still have a brand. And what I like to work with people who want their brand to reflect their personality and their lifestyle. Okay. You can do that and it can be professional. I'm not saying, oh, you want to have a corporate brand, but just professionalism the entire way. That's what's going to keep people coming back.
Yeah,
If they feel like, okay, she put some thought into this. This was easy. I wasn't overwhelmed. I didn't have to think about it too much. That's the bare minimum. That's a brand experience within itself. So I
it
think when people hear the term brand experience, they're thinking like, oh, well, I got to spend all this money and wow my customers. And I'm like, no, you start with the bare minimum,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there, you can come up with experiences to entertain your customers. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that because like you said, it's so many small nuances that can make or break an experience for somebody. For me,
Yeah.
I'm always looking at a website and how it functions. User
Hmm.
design and experience is big with me. So if
Yeah.
I have to get on your site and I gotta click, look around, and go here and scroll there, and all I want to do is give you my money,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, like what is happening here? Why am I in this loop? I gotta go. I don't,
Absolutely.
I'm done. And so you've lost
Right.
the sale and you may not even realize that. And so when you talk about like data and analytics and things like that, how important is that to inform some of those things?
It's very important. I mean, data doesn't lie. you know Not, you look at your data, you look at the numbers, it doesn't lie, and it's important to follow that to see what's working and to see what isn't working, to test things out and to test them over and over again. I don't know if you're familiar with design thinking, but it's an act of like applying it to your business, and this is what big corporations use. They use design thinking when it comes to like their process. Okay, the overall customer experience. What does that customer journey look like? And you're applying that to your business to see where the loopholes are. How can things be made easier? A prime example that's used for this is if you say you're walking in an area, it could be through the city, and there are sidewalks that get you to your destination. Say there's a sidewalk, you're walking, and it leads to like a little ice cream shop. Well, it's taking you around or whatever, like around the field or something. But then you see like a man-made path through the grass, where people are just cutting there and getting there quicker. That's what design thinking is. As companies and as business owners, we think like, oh well, we're going to create this for our customers. This is the experience that they want, and we're going to do this. And it's like, no, people just want to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
They want to get there quickly. So you're exploring those routes within your own business and doing that brainstorming to see how can I make this customer experience better. And as consumers now, we are very impatient.
Very. I
Yeah,
am.
we just don't have look, we don't have time for anything. I don't have time for that. We don't have time for anything.
Mm-mm.
So, we want to cut to the chase. We want to get there quickly. And it's kind of like just eliminating the fluff too.
I love that. I love that. This is so good because I feel like I need you. Like you're my you know how on what's that show, Key and Peele, they have Obama's angry translator. Like you're not angry,
Yeah.
but you're translating,
Yeah.
you're
Uh-huh.
translating the things that I constantly
Oh,
say
yeah.
over and over. And I'm like, are y'all hearing me? Do y'all
Well,
hear what I'm saying
Well,
here?
I think it's hard for people to grasp, and that's what I had to understand because it comes natural to me, and it's just like common sense. Oh, well, you need to do this and think about it this way. And it's like I've kind of been trained to think this way. I've been in marketing for years, and I just had that mindset. I think a certain way, and I do think part of it is a gift because I enjoy it. This is what I like to do. I like to help other people get it. And before I used to think like, well, is this really good? Is this something I should teach people? Because it just seems like common knowledge. But it's like, no, it's
Wow.
common knowledge to you, and other marketers, but entrepreneurs don't really understand this. And I've spoken to people and they're like, I don't know marketing. I
Mhm.
don't get it. I know nothing about marketing. So
Yeah.
when you're explaining these things to them and breaking it down, they're just like, it makes so much sense. We're not doing accounting and finance or anything like that, which seems like, oh, well, you need to go to school, be trained for that. But and I That's how entrepreneurs or small business owners feel too. Like, oh, okay, well, finance and accounting, I have to hire a professional. Marketing, I can just figure this out on my own. Some
Yes.
people do, and they are widely successful. But then majority of the people do not. They
That's
don't figure
true.
it out for themselves.
That's true. I tell people all the time, you don't want me to get behind here and start crunching on numbers because I'm going straight to
Oh,
jail.
girl, no.
Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna put my freedom at risk.
I'm
But
staying in
if
my
you,
lane. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And
Yes.
that's the thing,
Yes.
I tell my clients or even prospective clients all the time, you got into business because you were passionate about your thing, whether
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, weaving rugs or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
tea, like you had a tea
Yeah.
brand, whatever it is, you loved that thing. And so I
Yeah.
don't expect you to come to me loving marketing. Now, I do want to help you understand it and what it means so that you can, drive your business. But
Yeah.
I think it's wise to consult with people like you who have that mindset and that gift, like you said, because it doesn't come easy to everybody.
Right.
So
Right.
as marketers, I think we have to also, on the flip side, understand that about our clients, because sometimes it's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like you said, that
Mm-hmm.
this ain't common sense. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So shifting to your entrepreneurial journey, because I mean,
Yes.
I've been watching you for a while. Of course, with the tea brand and the whole nine. So, what would you say has I guess, inspired you really to become an entrepreneur? Because you've had this successful career. Why
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship for you?
Fulfillment. I wanted something more. And, I feel like every job I've been in, I get bored quickly. And I'm like, okay, what's next? And you just get so much fulfillment helping a small business owner, and you see the direct impact
Yes.
that it's making, because a lot of times in companies, you just feel like a number. And when you learn so much information and you see like, God, I wish other people can really they can benefit from this. This is some good stuff. And you're at work and it's just like, man, if so and so knew this or this could help this company. So being able to teach people that, I mean, it's so fulfilling. And to hear people say, oh, that makes so much sense. Oh, and my favorite is like, you really broke that down. You made it seem so simple.
Yeah.
That's what I want to simplify this. I want to simplify these strategies. And I like to tell people, if these corporations are spending millions upon millions of dollars on marketing, what makes you think that your company doesn't need to invest in branding and marketing? Not just, and look,
Exactly.
marketing and branding are two different
Two
things.
different things. Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize that.
Nope.
Branding, that, talking about how you position your company to market. Okay. So people don't realize that. And I'm like, these companies are spilling these agencies, they make a killing.
Yep. Let me tell you when I realized that when I worked for Neiman Marcus, if they
Mm-hmm.
send their name, whatever. But they ain't getting nothing. So anyway, I worked for Neiman Marcus, which we all know is a
Uh-huh.
luxury retail brand. And when
Mm-hmm.
I was over their influencer marketing campaigns.
Okay.
And I was spending millions of dollars a week. That's
Mm.
when I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like this ain't
Mm-hmm.
no joke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
especially during the holidays, it's like the money that
Yes.
was going into these campaigns and the money that we were spending with influencers who had, their own lifestyle brands and
Right.
translating that into actual dollars and watching how, the impact of what something that we would put out there, or, I'll send somebody a pair of boots and then watching how much money this one person influenced us to be
Mm-hmm.
able to, I'm like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
because at first I'm like, we spending how much money? We giving her how much money to post pictures on
Right.
Instagram? But then
Right.
it's like, no, because
Listen.
she's about to drive this business. And so, like you said, watching
Yeah.
the data, watching how corporations spend. And that's not the only corporation that I've worked for in marketing and digital marketing. But like you said, these large budgets that go to this stuff. And then we feel
Yeah.
like we could just get out here and wing it and ask our friends and family to buy from us.
Your friends and family are not your customer.
They are not your customers.
And
Oh,
listen, you can't expect them to be, and you cannot get mad about it either. You can't. And that's not fair. As long as support to me, it means like an encouraging word and telling other people about me. Oh, you need a brand strategy? I know the perfect person you should talk to. My
Right.
friends, most of my friends don't need brand strategy. I know some of them who do, but but you can't get mad about it, and you can't just be marketing to your friends and family. And even when I had a product, it's like, okay, my friend, most people aren't drinking tea. And if they do, they prefer the tea bags. They prefer something different. I can't force them to buy it. I can't get mad because they don't.
Right.
And so people have to get out of that mindset.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna have you on here more often because I feel like like you are me. Like you're saying the same things that I say. I'm like, oh, I love
Right.
this. I'm loving
Right.
this conversation because it's not. Sometimes you feel like you're beating a dead horse when you're always saying the same thing. But I'm like,
Mhm.
see, she's saying it without me even having to say it. Like that
Mhm.
means that who's ever watching this, if, as you've watched my videos, I'm not making this stuff up, y'all.
Right,
It's for
exactly.
real.
She knows what she's talking about,
Good
people.
grief. So tell me, you had that brand, now you have this one. What would you say is your I guess your biggest win from being an entrepreneur other than the satisfaction of knowing that you're directly impacting other people?
Hmm. I would say just forcing myself to start doing it. Like for Serenity, the wins were, we had a big win early on. We were approached by venture capitalists. And
Whoa, whoa.
2 months after launching our company. Okay.
Okay.
And we didn't understand or recognize what we had. And so when we presented to them, they said it was the best and most professional presentation they ever had. Because look, you got to look the part, you got to be your brand, especially if you're the face of your brand. Okay. So the company based out of South Carolina, my sister and I drove there. We were dressed up and we put on a tea presentation. We laid out the teacups, had tea to serve them, had our marketing materials, talking to them about the company. And then, at the end of the day, they wanted to invest. But, we had just launched 2 months ago. So they wanted 80% of the company. We were like, oh, wait a minute now. Like, we can't do that. So I would say recognizing that early on, and then getting um collaborating with other brands, with other high-end brands. For my personal business, so my business now, I'm just launched, okay? So I I've been wanting to do this for a while. I'd say for a long time. I graduated with my MBA in 2019. And I had been thinking about it while I was in school. When I graduated, I was pregnant. So I had another baby, and just time. And I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna keep climbing the corporate ladder. But let me tell you, 2020 did something to me, just like
2020
it
did
did.
something to everybody.
Listen,
Woo.
seriously. And I hear so many people say this, like 2020 made me like wake up and realize I need to pursue my dreams. And
Yes.
let me tell you, it was so hard at first because, the pandemic hit when I was near the end of my maternity leave. Okay.
Mm.
And so when it hit, my 4-year-old daughter, now 5, her daycare closed. And then my husband was home. So it was the four of us at home. And then her daycare was still closed, or I can't remember if it had opened back up then, but we all scared and stuff like, oh no, I'm not sending my child. So
Yeah.
my husband had to go back to work in the office. So it was just me at home with the 2 girls, and I had started back working. So I got a newborn and a 4-year-old at home, and I'm trying to work. And I was literally like, no lie, going crazy. I told my husband, I said, I'm not okay. This is too much. It was too much. And then I had started like working on my business then too, just starting the groundwork, laying that foundation. And the voice in my head kept telling me, like, Rena, you don't have time to do this. How you gonna make this work? And you're, doing this full time, and you're keeping these kids, and then you trying to start a business too. And then that mom guilt kicked in, like, any extra time that you have, you trying to work on a business, you need to be doing something else. So the fact that I was able to push through that and make it happen, I'm proud of myself, you
I'm
know?
proud of you too.
Thank you. Thank you. Because
Yeah.
it's just the fact. And I tell people the hardest thing is getting started, making it happen, and putting yourself out there. Now, let me tell you what's funny is that when I started working on this, my birthday is in August, okay? So
August
my
what?
goal, 7th.
Oh, you a Leo. Come, that's why we
Yes,
see.
ma'am.
That's why we
When's your
vibe.
birthday?
July
When?
29th.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad's is July 25th. So yes, ma'am, a
Okay.
Leo.
Yes.
Um, and so I told my husband before, I was like, yeah, so I'm gonna try to launch by my birthday. That was my goal. And he had to have a come to Jesus moment with me. He said, Rena, you are gonna stress yourself out. Don't be in a rush. Like, don't do that to yourself. And I was like, you know what? You are right. Let me take my time and do this the right way. And that's a word of advice for people. Like, just just take your time with it. Don't drag your feet. It's a difference between the two. But don't feel like, you're in a rush to do something because you see everybody else out there doing something. Because, child, let me tell you, everybody else is out here doing everything. We need to be investing in the stock market. We need to be in real estate. We need to be doing this, that, and the third, according to social media. And it's like, if you are not doing those things, then something's wrong with you. And it's like, you gotta just get a escape from all of that and get by yourself, be quiet, get with God, because
Mm.
that's what works for me, and that's what I have to do. Like, I have to. I rely heavily on Him, and you have to chart your own path. So with me, I'm not in a race against anybody but myself, and I'm working on making it happen, just laying the groundwork and making sure that when I'm doing that, things are tight, because I'm like, well, shoot, I'm a brand image consultant. I'm helping people with their brand. My brand gotta be my brand gotta be on point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like, saying you're a hairstylist, but your hair ain't looking good. So, I was like, I gotta take extra care. They be cautious with mine. So my website, I have my launching soon page up, and I'm still building out content and everything for my website. So that's launching soon, but I've already started, like, hey, we book these consultations and start working with people.
That is awesome. I'm excited. Let me tell you.
Oh,
I'm
thank
always,
you.
I really am, because I'm always excited just to see another woman who reflects me doing this entrepreneur thing, because it's not easy,
Hmm.
but also to hear
No.
somebody that's passionate about it, that's passionate about serving and helping other people. Somebody who
Yes.
has, we got a similar background. So I feel like we're just talking shop here, and it's just so fun.
Right. Right.
But I really
Right.
am proud of you. I mean, I follow you,
Thank
we're friends
you.
on social media and stuff. And so
Yes.
I watch you, and it's just a pleasure to see. Because sometimes I'm telling you, I'm not a mom,
Hmm.
but when I see these mompreneurs out here, I'm like, girl, bless you.
Yeah.
Like, bless your heart. My phone ringing. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
bless you, because I don't know that I will be able to do this. Like, I know I
Yeah.
probably would, because God graces you for the seasons that you're in.
That's
But
right. You're
y'all
right about
make
that.
it y'all make it look so good. And so y'all keep doing it, because until
Thank you. Well, look, it's not easy, and I'm the type of person, I like to debunk the whole superwoman attitude. So you would never hear me saying, "Oh, well, I'm doing it all, and I'm doing everything at home, and like it's easy for me." No, ma'am. I'm not trying to be everything to everybody when it comes to my business. I am staying in my lane. I'm not a social media strategist, you know, but I know I need to know a part of that. And I believe in bringing people along who can help in my business. My focus is on branding. I'm gonna help you get your brand tight. Okay. And then we're gonna market that thing. But I had to learn over time, because I had to think about, well, what do I want to focus on? And it kept going back to, well, what do you love? What are you really, really good at? And it's branding. Branding. That's my thing. And then when it comes to just, managing doing it all with the family and stuff, it's not easy, but I'm grateful that I have a spouse who supports me and he sees my vision and he gets it, because he's the first person to hear like when that imposter syndrome sets in. And he's like, you're going to do this. You're good at it. I hear you on your calls and everything. Like, this is, you need to pursue this. I made an investment in my business and I talked to him about it. And it was a very short conversation. And he was just like, okay, do it. And I was like, thank you for that support. But I asked him, what made you agree to that so quickly? And, he was like, I've seen you doing the work. Like, you've been working on this and I've seen you preparing what you've been putting into it. So I know you're going to make it happen. So I'm grateful for that. And I believe my kids give me um, just another level of motivation, because I just want to change the narrative for them. Like, oh, well, once you graduate, you got to do this and you're going to work a full-time job. Like my daughter, she talks about like, oh, when she goes to college and she's going to work. But now I talk to her about ownership. You can have your own business. Mommy has your own business, and you don't have to wait until you're an adult to have a business. Just really changing that narrative for her, and then wanting to have the freedom for my business, wanting to work on what I want to work on and then doing it on my own terms, taking advantage of opportunities because I want to do it, and developing my own platform. And so I had to talk to myself like, Rena, you've been doing this for long enough. You've been doing this for a very long time. You can help other people and you should help other people. And this reminds me of a devotion that I read not too long ago, but it was talking about your vision and your purpose in life. And it said you should look at, the purpose for your life, you pursuing your purpose as you not having an option but to. Like, if that's what God put you on earth for, that's what you're supposed to do. So who are you to say that you're not going to walk in this? Like, you don't have a choice.
Wow.
And so that's what I have to remind myself, when I get tired and all this stuff, it's like, I don't have a choice.
Wow.
And when it's all in that mindset, when you think about it that way, that's what pushes you to just keep going and to do it.
Man, I really feel like I'm sitting here and I'm soaking all of this up because I feel like I'm talking to myself. This is so
right.
Like, I have not had many experiences like this. So if I'm just kind of like somber, it's because I'm like, who is this person that's in my head? Like,
that's in my head.
That knows me like this. And this is just amazing to me. So, wow. Like, all of that is, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk offline because
absolutely,
it's getting so good. I'm like, oh, this is me. This is what I say all the time. So tell us before we wrap up, who would you say is your ideal client? How do you want to help them, and how can they reach you? Like, we want to make sure we put you out there.
Absolutely. So my ideal client is a small business owner who's been in business and they need help with getting their business to grow. That's an area that they're frustrated with. Their business isn't growing. And I want to help them reposition their brand to attract their ideal client. So my ideal client is a person who wants their brand to be a reflection of them, of their personality and their lifestyle. And that's what I help them to achieve, help them to develop that high-end positioning for their brand and to innovate their offering so that they can grow their business and create a sustainable business. So you can reach me at renatwilliams.com. And I actually have a brand personality quiz on my website. There's a link, take my brand personality quiz. And it's really to explain to people, and you can look at this two ways, because some people start a business and they don't want it to be a reflection of their lifestyle. That's not what they're looking for. They're starting a business that has nothing to do with their likes, their interests, nothing to do with them. And that's completely fine. I'm targeting people who want to have a business, a brand that's a reflection of them and their lifestyles. And it's like you have to bring the personality to your brand. And I tell people all the time, people want to do business with people. Your brand needs to have its own persona. And it can be high end, it can be professional, but that process has to be right too. So I have a brand personality quiz to help you discover what your brand personality, and you can establish your tone of voice. And it really helps you to develop a deeper connection with your ideal clients. But that's on my website as well. And you can book a discovery call with me too to chat about the help that you need for your business, how I can help you, and then we can go from there.
Well, I'm going to do this brand personality quiz because
Yes,
my
check it
business
out.
literally was built from me. And so it is a reflection of me. I keep trying to separate myself from it some kind of way. And I just,
I
oh,
don't think you don't have to, and it's a balancing act. So,
yeah.
an example I love to, and let me tell me if I need to stop talking, because girl, I can keep going
Come
now.
on, girl. Look.
Okay, tell me if we have time now. So, an example I like to use is, say you have like a high end jewelry line. Okay, you're selling or handbags. You're selling imported, the leather is imported from Italy or what have you. So when you hear someone say that high-end handbag, you're thinking, oh, well, this brand is sophisticated. But what if the person selling it, they don't consider themselves to be sophisticated? Oh, well, I'm not really sophisticated. I'm chill, laid back, down to earth. Okay, well, that's a personality dimension. There are 5 dimensions to your brand personality. It's sincerity, excitement, sophistication, competence, and ruggedness. Okay. So you don't have to fall within one box. You can have a sophisticated brand, but it can also be infused with your laid back personality. So, say you have to think about what you want your brand to lead with. So, say your content is more relatable. Okay. The experience with you is more relatable, but it could be your images, your product is the sophisticated part. And if you have a storefront, the way that your employees interact with the customers, that's the relatable, that's the laid back approach, sincere approach. But your product and the environment is sophisticated.
Mm,
So it's a balancing act for it, and you have to figure out what you want to lead with. Like my brand is falls into 3 dimensions. So it's sincerity, competence, and sophistication. Sincerity, because that's my personality. I am relatable, down to earth, laid back. That's how I've always been. Okay. But when it comes to my branding, the visual elements, that's sophistication. Once the world opens up more and it's safe to go out, I want to host like sophisticated events, but the tone will be sincere. And the competence comes into the information that I provide. So when I'm teaching people, that's the competence part, because it's like, hey, I've been doing this for years, I'm educated in this. That's the competence component. So I help people figure out those dimensions for their brand and how they can bring it to life in their company.
come on. See how you just broke that down? See, I love it. I never even thought of that. So now you make
Hmm.
me feel a little bit better. Cause like I said, I've always, I'm trying to figure this thing out. But we're gonna have a consultation. We're gonna take this conversation further. So thank you so
Yes, thank
much
you
for
for
giving us
having
your
me.
time, your treasure, your expertise, all that good stuff. Um, and yeah, I'm just excited. So
Well,
y'all
I
are
appreciate you. Listen, I've been watching what you've been doing as well. You are doing your thing. I'm super proud of you. What you're doing is very encouraging. So I am happy for you as well. And the fact that you reached out to me to share space with me and to share my platform, I am very appreciative. So thank you so
yes,
much for this opportunity.
yes, yes. I love it. See, this is the thing, y'all. If y'all are watching, don't buy into this whole scenario or whatever, this idea that Black women don't support each other, because we hang in
Right.
there with each other. This is what we
That's
do.
right.
This is what this platform is about, and I want to make sure that we keep the light shining on us, and that we just stay in good energy. So I love it.
Absolutely.
So y'all, next week we will be back at the same time. Y'all know we come on at 6 p.m. Central every Monday, and we'll have a whole new entrepreneur here talking about her journey as well. I look forward to seeing y'all next week. And until next time, y'all stay successful.
Bye. Thank you.